Raila Amolo Odinga is climbing the mountain. And one question which most Kenyans are asking is whether Raila Odinga will successfully climb the mountain. Because you all remember that in August 2018, President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga surprised their supporters by that handshake. And most ODM supporters believed that the handshake was actually going to make it easy for Raila Amolo Odinga to climb the mountain. But up to now, that has not happened. And on this platform, I've actually explained severally why that has not happened. William Samoei Ruto realized that the president was keen on delivering the larger Mount Kenya region to Raila Odinga. And therefore, he embarked on sabotaging the president. And because of that, today, if elections were to be held in the larger Mount Kenya region, the deputy president will easily win in the larger Mount Kenya region. But Raila Odinga is steadily, systematically, and one step at a time climbing the mountain. And today something very interesting happened in the larger Mount Kenya region. Raila Odinga is actually in Nanyuki, was in Nanyuki in the morning, and as we speak, his convoy is headed to Nairobi with several stopovers. And one thing I observed, that Raila Odinga was joined by governors from the larger Mount Kenya region, and not just ordinary governors. The host governor, Governor Ndiritu of Laikipia, was with Raila Odinga yesterday and again today. Lee Kinyanjui, the governor for Nakuru, was with Raila Amolo Odinga. Again, that's significant, politically speaking, because in this country there are talks of a possibility of Lee Kinyanjui becoming Raila Odinga's running mate. Then there was the presence of Francis Kimemia of the deep state. Francis Kimemia is a former head of the civil service of this country and secretary to the cabinet. So his presence at that meeting is also significant. And importantly, all these three governors are going to defend their seats. By the way, there was also the fourth governor, the governor for Kiambu, Dr. James Nyoro. So which means all these four governors are first-term governors who are keen on defending their seats. What does that tell you? In my view, it confirms to me that these governors have actually received firm and strict instructions from President Uhuru Kenyatta to join Raila Amolo Odinga in his campaign in the larger Mount Kenya region. So in this video today, I want us to look at the reasons why probably the president reached out to these governors, because that's a fact, to join Raila Amolo Odinga. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. And by the way, for those who've been keen, the past 2 days have not been actively involved here. My dad has been unwell, and even right now I'm just from home. We hope that it's going to get well soon. Now, let us go back to the main issue, and I want to go straight to the points. One issue or one question which has really disturbed the ODM supporters or Raila Odinga supporters is why the president has never accompanied Raila Amolo Odinga to the larger Mount Kenya region. Raila Odinga has always been joined by President Uhuru Kenyatta in his strongholds. The president can walk in Nyanza anytime, he will receive the best reception. The president can go to Western Kenya, he will receive the best reception. The president can go to the coast, he has been doing that, the best reception, something which the privilege he never got in his first term. But Raila Amolo Odinga has been with the president to the larger Mount Kenya region, but mostly to attend funerals, not to attend a political function. So Kenyans have been asking themselves, why is the president not willing to take Raila Amolo Odinga to the larger Mount Kenya region? And most people thought that the president was not keen on supporting Raila Amolo Odinga. But I can tell you that as things stand today, President Uhuru Kenyatta has made his mind. He's going to support Raila Amolo Odinga for the presidency in 2022. That one take to the bank. But he's facing serious challenge. The elected leadership from that region are not with him. The members of parliament and the MCS. And even some senators, but not necessarily the senators. So the president has decided that the best strategy for him to introduce Raila Amolo Odinga to the ground is to bypass the members of parliament, because members of parliament and MCS were the best avenue for him. But these guys are not willing to do that. So the president has decided that he's going to use the governors. And that's why he has instructed some of these governors. In fact, even Anne Waiguru was instructed, but the fact is Anne Waiguru has issues, both personal and political, and she had to jump ship before the destination. So why would President Uhuru Kenyatta instruct the governors from the larger Mount Kenya region to support Raila Amolo Odinga? In my view, 5 reasons. Number 1, to mobilize crowds for Raila Amolo Odinga. You know, politics is a game of perception. Simple. Raila Odinga has his supporters across the country. Even in the larger Mount Kenya region, there are people who can die for Raila Amolo Odinga. But there are few. Raila Odinga can easily organize an event in the larger Mount Kenya region, and the turnout will be good. That's also a fact. But the reality is that there are certain functions, like what happened in Nanyuko today, or even in Nyeri today, cannot happen without the support of the local leadership. That's the fact. So the president has figured out that the best people who can help Raila Amolo Odinga mobilize the crowds are the governors. Why? Governors have structures. So if you go to the governor for Laikipia, he has his solid support base. That's number 1. Number 2, he has his structures. He has a ward administrator, sub-county administrator. They even have village administrators. So these people can be easily used to mobilize support for Raila Amolo Odinga. In fact, I tend to think that's probably the main motivating factor why President Uhuru Kenyatta reached out to governors. Because if you add governor structures, then you add the provincial administration structures, the assistant chief, the chiefs, the DOs, you add, then you'll realize that it's all about mobilizing for Raila Amolo Odinga. That's number 1. Number 2, I also tend to think that President Uhuru Kenyatta is so keen on sending the signal to the ground on the person he's supporting. If I ask you a simple question, do you think President Uhuru Kenyatta is supporting Raila, Ruto, Mudavadi, or Kalonzo? Who do you think is supporting amongst those 4? Your answer is a straightforward answer, Raila Amolo Odinga. Although there are elements around the president who wants to support Mudavadi or Kalonzo, and also there are some who wants to support the deputy president. But President Uhuru Kenyatta, as an individual, has decided on Raila Amolo Odinga. But because he's still the president of the Republic of Kenya, he can't come out openly to start endorsing Raila Amolo Odinga. So he must use people like these governors, and there's a way people will detect that this particular event, the provincial administration, like if you watched all those events, Raila Odinga is heavily secured. There's the presence of the deep state whenever he goes. So which tells you that the president is actually trying to send signals to his supporters that the direction we are going to take for 2022 is this one. Simple. Number 3, why I think the president is using the governors. I think President Uhuru Kenyatta is actually laying the ground for his tour of the larger Mount Kenya region with Raila Amolo Odinga. The truth of the matter is that since the handshake, President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga have never shared a podium, political podium, in the larger Mount Kenya region. The president has decided that he's not going to support his deputy. And Central Kenya is going to be key. For the deputy president, he must win at least 80% or 85% of the vote from that region. So he's keen on doing that. President Uhuru Kenyatta, because he's also keen on stopping the DP, must ensure that the DP doesn't get 80%, maybe 70%, or even 65%. So that can only happen when he decides to go to the ground. And I've always believed that there is no way the voters of the larger Mount Kenya region, I can be convinced that the voters of the larger Mount Kenya region have rejected Uhuru Kenyatta. These are people who voted for Uhuru Kenyatta how many times? 3 times. They voted for him. So as much as most of them are not happy, the truth is, if given a chance, they'll still vote for President Uhuru Kenyatta. So, and because there's that kind of rejection, I think the president is using these governors to lay the ground for his visit. Raila Odinga is in Nyeri. How is the reception there? Is in Laikipia. How is the reception there? He's going to Nakuru. So he asked Governor Kinyanjui to mobilize, to arrange everything. Then his intelligence system will be able to gather and provide him with the feedback. So I think it's about laying the ground. So that I want to assume that in the next 2 months, 2 months is a very long time, President Uhuru Kenyatta will hit the ground running in the larger Mount Kenya region. So that's number 3. Number 4, it could also be a strategy which the president is actually using to force members of parliament from the larger Mount Kenya region who are supporting him to endorse or to start working with Raila Odinga. The truth is, the president has a challenge. Most members of parliament from the larger Mount Kenya region are not comfortable supporting Raila Odinga because politics is local. And because Ruto is the most popular, Raila Odinga is perceived to be unpopular. So if you align yourself with him, your chance of losing are normally so high. So what's happening is very simple. The president is not using the governors so that if the ground will start singing Raila Odinga, those members of parliament who are not keen on supporting Raila Odinga publicly will start joining. Like today, Kanini Kega, of course, Kanini Kega has been supporting Raila Odinga publicly, joined them, and it was massive. So the expectation is that people like Wambugu Ngunjiri, people like so many others who are supportive of the president but are not comfortable with Raila Odinga might actually be forced to start supporting Raila because the president is actually there. Number 4 or number 5, I think Raila Odinga endorsement. If you follow Raila Odinga for the last 2 weeks, Raila Odinga embarked on Azimio la Umoja. That Azimio la Umoja is the vehicle which is going to launch Raila Amolo Odinga to the presidency. And is going to tour the entire country. So what's happening today is that Raila Odinga, strategically is going region by region, county by county. Then is going to organize a massive rally at Uhuru Park. That massive rally at Uhuru Park is going to endorse him for the presidency. And because now these governors are joining Raila Amolo Odinga, in my view, I tend to believe that it's part of the strategy. So that when that major rally will happen or will take place at Uhuru Park, the governors will be present. So if you have Raila Odinga there, amongst them are like 7 governors from the larger Mount Kenya region, or even 6. 2 from Meru and Tharaka Nithi, then it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge for Raila Amolo Odinga. And across the country, the entire governors will be mobilized to support Raila Amolo Odinga. So it's actually part of preparation for endorsement of Raila Amolo Odinga. And I'm certain that once Raila Odinga is publicly endorsed by Jubilee, the president will then go ahead and start campaigning for Raila Amolo Odinga down there. And lastly, I also tend to think that the president could be using these governors to test the ground. How is the ground receiving Raila Odinga? Okay, he's in Laikipia, and he has instructed the governor to mobilize the ground for Raila. So the governor does that. Raila Odinga comes. The reception is huge. His national intelligence briefing will tell him that this is what's happening. In Laikipia, Raila Odinga has started gaining. The ground has started accepting Raila Amolo Odinga. Then he can escalate. So basically, I tend to believe that what the president is doing is that he's trying to use these governors to study the ground. I don't know what you think. Let me hear from you. And again, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time you produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. Bye bye.